Well, I'm live and welcome. There were some people waiting there, so we'll just give it a moment for people to get on here. It's life, isn't it? Life, energy, what is happening, it's all a bit of a quandary, isn't it? I feel like I've got nothing in me 1 minute and then I'm just so attuned to what's going on. And then the days, I think that's the big kicker at the moment. Hi Charlotte. Yeah, is that thing, the time. That you can see. Yeah, get it together, Sharon. Time feels so expanded at the moment. So we're on Wednesday, right? But I already feel as though I've done a week's worth of work and things like that. There's a lot of expansion going on, and that shows up to me in this whole reference or deference to time. So we've got that going on. There's some interesting things showing up in terms of truth. I want to say that the truth is so, hi Carolyn, the truth is so kind of just right there. It's right there. You can't avoid it. But for the masculine in our world, it's such a beautiful thing to witness, because what's happening for the masculine is that their hearts are being opened more and more. And along with that is this recognition of what is true and right. And that's coming from within. And it's like they can't hold it down any longer. I mean, that's happening for all of us. But the contrast I want to say is that those who are here in a feminine body, working primarily with a feminine energy, is that our awakening has taken place over a longer period of time. And so we've had more time to adjust, to attune, to awaken, to exchange. We've formed connections where we've spoken about things that have been going on in our lives that have enabled us to see, well, maybe we're all mad then. that there's this sense that there's something going on, but it's not just me. And so the idea of feeling a bit crazy or a bit loopy can be kind of put over here, because there seem to be a lot of people who are having that same experience. And that is often the experience of having an awakening or a dark night of the soul, or this cracking open of the old, this awareness of this higher dimensional frequency or information. And so I want to say to you that many of you, because you're already awake, if you are here listening to me, you're bound to be, is that there's this kind of thing going on around us. So we're like witnessing a lot around us that we already know about. And it's like these sort of floating, rotating motions and movements of thought and of awareness and of aha and epiphany. And this is us. I think because we're so expanded now, we're feeling it on all sorts of levels. So we've got that going on, but this expanded time, it's mind-blowing to me that on Monday, I got to the end of Monday and I thought, oh, that whole day felt like three days long. And then yesterday felt the same. So we're in this expanded sense of time, or this sense of time being expanded. And then what's happening is that the truth is coming up in so many ways. And so this week we've had some big, well, we've had a big thing happen in my family this week, which we've moved through. But it's been beautiful, and it's been challenging, and it's really enabled the cohesiveness of our, well, we are anyway. We are this cohesive unit, but it's been really, really touching to see the bigger things that have come from this. And I really feel that in my own family. And I haven't talked to Mum about this yet, but I really feel that um, in our family, this sort of little crisis really has enabled people to be more in their hearts. And so I would say that the family I come from, and so in the family I come from, there are 30 adults, and then there are about half, maybe about half, I think, maybe about another 15 who are children. And just the way that they have rallied around and responded, and the way that the emotional movement of the men in our family is testimony to the fact that the men in our world, that their hearts are opening. And I would say our family stems from being really community focused and kind and generous, and there's a lot of voluntary work that goes on in my extended family on top of their normal work days. Everybody, nearly every adult, I don't know, it's in our genes or something, but nearly every adult in our family does some kind of volunteer work, be it coaching or ambulance work or whatever. But it's just been this shift. It's been this shift of the energies. The men in our family, their hearts are opening up. They're into the feelings of this experience has caused them to go deeper. And I really feel that, despite the fact that I come from this family that's full of this community spirit, that this is going to enable them to drop into greater love. And that's a beautiful thing. It really is. Anyway, so that's my little story about what's been going on, without sharing too much, because it's not my story to share. But Monday, Monday, the thing that came to me was that we were going through greater, more expansive heart openings again, as the energy was supporting people to come more into their beingness. And the you'll see that I put that post up with the tree, but what the actual imagery that I saw that I couldn't find, and I didn't want to invest the amount of time and money it would have meant for me to pay someone to do it, because I don't have a graphics program that can do it, was, if you imagine, it was the tree of life, and it was in mirror, and the trunk was a human form, and this was what I was shown. So it was energy showing up in gentleness, mirrored as the tree of life through the spine of the human, and that we were having this flow of energy coming through there, and that it was to do with this reflection, this mirroring above and below. So beneath the earth and above the earth. So stretching right throughout those realms, and this peace in our being. So in the neutral position, we can go to peace and we can go to ease. And if more people can just come to that, to me, that's the neutral. We could say that's another way of expressing the 0 point. And then, because we know that the evil is dissipating, that there's still a bit there, but not much. And so what we hold, this higher frequency, this love, gorgeousness of creation, this vibrancy, this vitality for life and living, it has a greater impact when there's less to be offsetting. So we're in that place. Um, and the other thing that's happening is that it's as though if you, and this is just another image that I haven't got around to drawing up, but if you imagine a human form and it's filled with symbols, there's stars and there's musical notes and there's vortexes and whirls and there's all sorts of various symbols of pyramids and triangles and stars and all of the symbolism. It's like that's in us. It's like it, if you looked, it's like a body tattooed with those symbols, but they're in light and they're internal. So we've got that thing going on. Oh, I'll just see. I can see there's a lot of people here. I just noticed Donna Jean saying could not sleep last night. Um, yeah, so some people are um, some people are sleeping on nights that other people aren't, and so this is because, and some people are not sleeping on nights when other people are. We are in our own sort of individuation of cycling through whatever it is that we need to do. I believe that sometimes where our systems are energized to the extent that we can't sleep. I think that I had 8 nights without sleep, and I've now had 2 nights where I have had sleep. Everyone's doing this in different cycles. We are in, some other little aspects that have been going on that I want to remind you about is that we are being very infused, if you like, with this photonic light. And the photonic light, it holds a lot of this energy that is transforming us. And that is transforming our DNA. And our DNA is being transformed through the fluids that are coming up through the spine, through the spinal fluids. And we are being returned back to 12 strands of DNA. That's our original form here on the earth. And so to be saying to yourself, I am returning to my original divine plan blueprint now, or I am now my original divine plan blueprint, or I'm in flow with that. I'm in recognition of that. I am in return of my authentic divine original plan blueprint. Any of the languaging around that, stating it as though you are either in the process of it or that you have already reclaimed it, because this is where we are moving to. So we've got all of this photonic light coming through. There's so many ways in which we can see it. So I'm just sort of throwing it in at you, and you might place it differently to me. But there's this, all these symbols coming in. There's this photonic light. There's light waves coming in. It's this idea that we might have this internal shape, and then on top of that we might have this physical human form, and then on top of that we might have this radiant light body, and that might be way bigger than us, and that within that there's all this symbolism, and then within that there's all this movement as we are being sort of, I want to say, authenticated, which is a strange word. I mean, that's what that's what I am continually having to do on my computer system, but it is like we're doing that. And then Andrea is saying, inner child running ahead of me, laughing, green field, blue skies, laughing, watching her. Yeah, because this is this, we could look at ourselves as being these, the feminine, masculine child, or the body, mind, soul, or the physical, emotional, energetic, or the physical, spiritual, energetic. All of these are aspects of self, and so it's just that right now I believe we are in the midst of this integration of all of these aspects, and who knows how long it will take for it all to sort of come in. But these words, that are to do with alignment and adjustment. So it's like bits coming in, the memories, the codes, the history, the skills, the gifts, the talents, all of that is coming in, and they're coming in maybe in different ways, in light forms and light waves and symbolism, as activations for reminding our internal selves to release things that need to be now looked at again and readjusted. But it's all happening sort of at once. And the big kicker is that it's happening in the physical. Excuse me. Yeah, alignments, adjustments, attunements. Those are three words that keep coming up in the last couple of weeks. Alignments, adjustments, attunements. Through the spin, that's the other thing. So the spin is helping us to sort of be recalibrated. It's increasing. So our vibration is increasing. There's probably, there's probably, so you think about something spinning quickly here and something spinning less quickly here. The thing that's spinning quickly spins off this other. You're probably having some experiences with other people that are like that. It's like, they don't hang around anymore, right? They don't hang around in your field, in your physical experience. And it's this differential in frequency and spin that's having a big effect on that. That kind of, I guess, segues into the different timelines or the different trajectories, and people have different versions and viewpoints on that, and I think that it can all merge into, it's just is this the front of the hand or the back of the hand? It's just that, and so I would encourage everyone to not get too caught up in, is your perspective on it the same as everyone else's, because it is that idea of, if you took a fixed object that had no symmetry to it but had different shapes on it, well, everybody's going to see it differently depending on where they are looking at it from. And really, there's so much going on in our world that it's kind of like that, I feel. And so that's happening in the physical, it's happening in the energetic. It's all about the change up. This ongoing purification and clarity. Now that's happening to all of us. It's also happening, I want to say, to our view, our viewing frames. So we are looking at things and we are watching that things are being, shown up, clarified, released. The purification is happening like right throughout all of the realms. So all of a sudden we are seeing news headlines, we are seeing pretty out there statements of truth coming from the lips of the same people. That just reminds me, because that's exactly what I wrote maybe 4 years ago, that that the lies that told the lips would have to be the lips that told the truth, because that creates a more believable platform. Well, we are seeing that, definitely. But although we've been and are in the midst of this purification through the physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, and energetic, it's in the physical, so it's very tangible. Yeah. Yes, today. So today, when I dropped into the earth, it was really interesting because I was guided to find my way down to the center of the earth, and I felt like I was moving down as though I was just one part of the helix. I was just one. I was just one part of that, that was how I was moving, like this, down and into the center of the earth. I got told that we are in activation of the realignment and reconnection of our 12 strands of DNA. Gaia in the cave today, Gaia was dressed in gold. Don't know that I've seen you dressed like that before. She had bells and cymbals on, and I looked at her. So I guess often what happens is I drop into this state, which I sometimes, not always, but sometimes can do like that. And I'm meandering my way down there, and I'm having some sort of I guess like a stream of consciousness. So I'm writing that down, and I'm writing down what I see, and then I tune into Gaia. So that's been my sort of more recent way of working. Anyway, she's dressed in gold and sparkly, and she's got symbols and she's got little bells, and she was dancing around the cave. And she reminded me of a Hindu goddess. So when I was watching her, that was what she reminded me of. She was dancing, and she said, "We are celebrating Earth coming home to itself in the physical," which is what we have been doing. It is on the move and in progress with this now. When I when I asked her about this, she said this is the energy of Shiva. And so Shiva is the supreme being known as the destroyer, the supreme lord who creates, protects, and transforms the universe. So feel into the energy of that. So this was the energy that Gaia was dancing with this morning, the energy of the Supreme Lord Shiva of creation, protecting and transforming the universe. So just another angle, another viewpoint, another perspective. And then I want to talk now about I can't stay for too much longer. About what's happening with the divine feminine and the divine masculine. So I want to tell you that what is happening is that there is this greater visceral sensory experience of one another, that if you are a divine feminine and you are experiencing things in your body and you're wondering where that's coming from, it's likely to be your divine masculine. And it it it's likely that they may, it's likely that they're feeling it, but it's likely that you are feeling what they are feeling and what they are going through. And it's sort of showing up like this, the energetic body of you and the energetic body of your divine masculine, that it's becoming more aligned, more attuned, and it's because there's this movement of it dropping into the physical, if that makes any sense to you. So if you're feeling that you've got pain in your heart and you don't recognize that it's your own, it's likely to be your divine masculine if you're a divine feminine. And so collectively, I would say the masculine are feeling a lot of energy in their throat as they're preparing to speak, a lot of energy in their heart as their hearts are opening up and they're recognizing this love. And it's this love and this throat chakra that is wanting to speak the truth. And so they are in the midst of finding the flow for that. So here and here. There are some divine feminine who have messaged me about feeling a lot of electrical energy in their head. And I want to say, and many are experiencing things to do with vision. And to me, the vision is an upgrade of your psychic clairvoyant gifts and affecting your physical vision as well as your psychic vision. There's a lot of upgrades going on at the moment for your psychic gifts. Yeah, I think that you can expect that your divine masculine is going to show up in the physical. There's been quite a number of messages that have come. It's my sense that that's happening in my own world, and that, um, yeah, that I have heard from a number of divine feminines expressing that, some in private, some in public. So we, the earth is shuddering and we are shuddering, and we are perhaps all experiencing that in different ways, but it's this shaking it up so it can be released, so it can be recalibrated. That's you as well as the planet. Um, So the masculine are in this phase where they are, I believe, in movement or planning of being in movement. Their hearts are open. They are really coming into being vulnerable. And so when the masculine come to communicate with you or to speak to you, be aware of that. It's a vulnerable place they are perhaps coming from, and they are not necessarily very experienced at speaking from that place of being vulnerable. Let me just close this here, and I can look at the chat in a sec. Yeah, so remember also that the masculine show up as the tower, as the pillars, as the ones holding the, earth and heaven, and they are, this is how the matrix has held its form, if you like, is that the masculine have been holding it up. Now the divine masculine are beginning to walk out of that, so they are beginning to look at, to crumble, to disintegrate their concepts and constructs of the matrix. And as they are leaving, this is the release, the towers move, the pillars come out, and it crumbles and collapses. So this is what we are seeing as well in the physical now, the systems and structures that are collapsing, showing up through the banking industry, and through some aspects of media, and through the ongoing kind of charades around government, etc. So, yep, they are the bearers and holders, I wrote, of the old structures, and they are now walking out in the physical, which will create many differing scenarios of systems and structures crumbling and being demolished and diminished in many ways. And the new will simultaneously begin. And so we can hold space for that, for the new to appear, this conjuring it up, this dreaming it up. And I want to remind you that, every that everything is energetic. Everything is frequency, vibration, and there's another word that is eluding me. But everything is that, and we can create the happenings of events and calling things in by holding space in that energetic world, in the dream world, if you like, so that you can call these things in. Yeah, this morning, the other thing that started to show up after all of that part happened was I started to see cherubs and angels with horns, and, well, like horns as in cattle horns, and flutes and trumpets. And so I was reminded that we are likely to receive a clarion call before the ascension wave that tips us into the new arrives, in keeping with the notion that we are going through many mini ascension spirals. And then so always the solar flash has shown up with those clarion calls coming in beforehand. And then another little tidbit is that there is a calendar, and I'm sorry I can't tell you which calendar, but there is a calendar that somebody sent a little reference to me about, that shows that the 24th of November in the old calendar is actually the 11th of November. So who knows? That could be an ascension movement. The can't not is getting stronger, I want to say. And the truth is getting louder. And there's just a knowing, and many of you will be like me, where you sit in that. It's a knowing. You don't necessarily know how you know, but you know. And I guess, this expansion of our gifts. It's close. It's close. It really is. Funny how love is so scary. Why is it scary? Let's see what's up in here. Sarah, here and feeling it all. Hello, Andrea and Pauline. Heart is hurting. Carolyn is saying my DM just rang to say how much he is struggling. So big changes in the air right now. It's about releasing control, narcissism, and letting go. And you think about the programming that the boys in our world, who become the men in our world, have been conditioned with, about what their role is and how they contribute and what they have to hold. Oh, that's beautiful. Andrea's mum came in from the other side and embraced her. Yeah, as I felt into more of the men in our world, there is a lot of pain in their hearts. And I want to say, though, it's because their hearts are getting more opened. So they're just feeling it all, and it's new, and it's a little bit scary. Hello, Harmony, and Donna Jean, and Sweet CC, aloha. Yeah, so inner child running ahead of Andrea. Yeah, and we can just embrace that aspect of self is really beautiful. It holds innocence and purity and this ability to look at the world with fresh eyes and with a giggle. So awesome how we will have infinite experiences. Yeah, well, that's the beauty of this space, Andrea, that we can each reflect one another. Gold is the color of the Christ consciousness. Yeah, I agree, Sally. Lauren's saying spine and upper body just aches and so tired from the photonic light. Brain fog is huge, forgetting things so easily. Big rebirth for all as we have entered our new life room. Yes, we have. Oh, and I want to mention that because I remember speaking to, I'm not sure whether it was God or Gaia, but anyway, higher consciousness about the brain a long, long time ago. And I was shown that our brain would take on a different function because we are impatient here on the earth to remember things that we don't need to remember because we can look them up. And so we don't need to hold those in our brain, those simple, all of the training that our education system gives us to be able to answer short questions by learning facts. That would become unimportant, and we would lose the kind of ability, the propensity to hold on to those memories, as they would perhaps become more into the swirling, into the cellular body or into the swirling mass of consciousness. And then our brains would take on the capacity and abilities to have higher functioning. And when I look into things where I see the future, I can see that. Sally, I've given my yet to meet DM a name, and I'm in the process of buying a new washing machine. thought I'd get a bigger size with the prospects of him moving in. Well, all of that's about the reality of it. And Andrea's saying, must be hard to let go of something we identify with for thousands or more years. Yeah. Or it's just a process. And so we can give up labeling things with them being difficult or hard or a struggle. And we could go into, oh, I do this in love with love, and it's easier and just gets easier every day. It's 5:55. I have a client in 5 minutes, so I need to go. But I just wanted to come on and let you know that we're just in the most extraordinary times, and that's the information that I've got at the moment. So you are likely to be feeling things in your body. You're likely to be witnessing things around you. You are, if you're in a divine counterpart journey, you're likely to hear something from your DM in the physical, because everything is coming into the physical. And so I send you so much love and great big hugs, and be in the awareness that we are in greater and greater expansiveness, and that shows up in a lot of ways. So that also shows up with the a technology that we discovered when I spoke to my sister about what's going on for her and her health. And so I had spoken to her about some things that I knew, and then all of a sudden, someone else from somewhere else, I don't know them, sent her a message. And she said, I read the message and I remembered what you'd said, Sharon. And so I'm having a look at it. And so we have some of this new technology here in our country. And this is all going to be revealed to a greater extent. And for me, how I view that is that people who are unwell and in pain, that they will have access to this equipment. It will be soon. It feels to me that it could happen today, tomorrow, this month, next month, but it feels to me that we're going to have been with the wave will have washed over by at least the end of April. Will be in our, I believe, we here, those of us here, we're likely to be in our new world experience now in many ways, and that will get more sort of saturated, if you like. You could see it like that. But yeah, there are these new pieces of technology that are filtering into our country, and so they'll be in many countries around the world, and they are pieces of technology that can restore, and that certainly is what I've been shown, is that we can be, and we're in our own redemption, our own restoration, our own reformation, our return are returning back to our original selves, and with higher skills, codes, and gifts than we've had here on the earth for a long time. All right, much love to you all. Big hugs, and I'll speak again soon.